Kale Mashio, number 12, with Davy Strybus beside him. The gate dropped and they were underway for Heat 1. Into that first right-hand corner, some of the riders drifting just a little wide, but it was Puzar then from Tortelli, 1 and 2, and Chiodi back there in 4th. Then number 98, Collin Dugmore, the South African, in a top 6 position. But the battle was on. It was Mashio that was 3rd. Look at Chiodi. Puzar, Tortelli, Italian versus the Frenchman. Then it was Mashio, Chiodi, and Strybus was behind that group. So Puzar, number 74, at the moment setting the pace at the front. And Chiodi goes up to 3rd. So Mashio dropping back a place. The sand already beginning to take its prisoners. Jimmy Button, the American, in his first year at World Grand Prix racing, beginning to settle in nicely. But Puzar and Tortelli battling it corner to corner with Chiodi. And behind Chiodi, it was Davy Strybus. Certainly at home here in the sand at Norg. Mashio going through and the French youngster into the lead, then passing the veteran Puzar. And Puzar trying to fight back. And look at this, Chiodi and Strybus drops a beautiful overtaking move on the Italian. But back into the lead comes Puzar. We've lost Tortelli. Then Strybus up into 2nd place. Then 98, Collin Dugmore, the South African. Then Mashio, the Frenchman. Then Jimmy Button, the American, number 59. There's Tortelli. We've lost Chiodi. It was Chiodi and Tortelli together there who clashed on the track. But it was Zandro Puzar, number 74, dominating the proceedings at the front, with Davy Strybus, number 4, beginning to close. Then Dugmore, the South African, and behind Dugmore, a battle really beginning to rage between Mashio and the American Jimmy Button, 59. Button riding the magic Honda, but Puzar still holding off the attention of Dave Strybus. The deep sand beginning to take its toll as they come around, and Strybus has found a way past Puzar. Davy Strybus, no stranger to the deep soft stuff, has found a way through and is in the lead and looking good for a win. Puzar, now 2nd, leads the championship coming into this round. And behind those two, the battle is most certainly on. Button, the American, climbing all over Chiodi. And Tortelli back behind that group, but the leader coming through, it is Davy Strybus, number 4, who takes the win and 20 points. Puzar holds on to 2nd and still to the championship lead. Chiodi finishes 3rd. And Tortelli, the young Frenchman, finishing 4th. Well, the American Jimmy Button finishing 5th, and behind Button it was the South African Collin Dugmore finishing 6th. Paul Malin, the Brit, finished 12th in that one. Well, big crowd here enjoying this 125 racing as the gate dropped for the 2nd heat of the day. It's the Norwegian Roy Snellingham that's gone into the lead, and that is Davy Strybus that's on the floor. He has taken a hard hit, falling mid-pack. Would have been run over by a few riders in that position. Let's hope he's okay, but it is the Norwegian that leads then from Puzar, the Italian. So, Norway leading. Somebody about to retire, and it looks like Chiodi. It is. Chiodi's been off the bike, taken a tumble, and looks to be drifting very slowly back towards the paddock. But Puzar has taken the lead. Where is the Norwegian? And the answer is there. Roy Snellingham, 2nd place. Then number 15, Federici, in 3rd. But Puzar beginning to stretch his championship lead even further over Chiodi, who will now, I think, take no further part in this 2nd race. Federici up into 3rd. The former 250 world champion, Zandro Puzar, heads this 2nd race, and very comfortably as well. Snellingham there in 2nd, with Federici beginning to close on him. So we could see a change between those two, and that looks like Collin Dugmore, the South African, who's now 4th. There's Tortelli, number 25, and there's Paul Malin, number 68, the British rider. Remember, finished 12th in race 1. Puzar it is then that leads, and doesn't he look comfortable? Powering that 125 Honda through the sand. The Norwegian now being chased by Frederici, and there's Dugmore 98. Collin Dugmore has been racing now World Grand Prix for some years, but the results are beginning to come. Puzar at the front of the pack comfortably. Snellingham, the Norwegian second. Frederici third, looking back for fourth, and it's Dugmore. Fifth is Jimmy Button. Where did he come from? Then behind Button, I think it's Tortelli, the young French star. But it's Puzar that leads the field, looking good for 20 points and looking good to extend his championship lead. Snellingham second. Then Federici under pressure from the American Button. The tall, lanky frame there of Jimmy Button, who's got Tortelli, and sandwiched between Tortelli and himself is Dugmore. There's Malin, number 68, and number 30, that's the Italian Eric Camolengo. Well, he started to move up the field as Puzar, the race leader, gets his pit board. We'll tell him how many laps that he's got left to go and his time between himself and second place man. And he really is a big gap between those two. Very comfortable fountain. Button now. There's Jimmy Button, the American. Tortelli and Snellingham fourth. Fifth then it is for Paul Malin, number 68. But Puzar really on a mission here today. He is so comfortable at the front. Button chasing hard in second spot. Don't think he's going to catch Puzar. The championship leader picking his way through the back markers on his way to 20 points. Button, the American, comfortably there in second at the moment. Looking back for third, and it looks like the Brit Paul Malin with the French youngster Tortelli behind him. So the changes are coming fast and furious. There's the Norwegian Snellingham. Behind Snellingham, it's 98, which is Collin Dugmore, but it's the checkered flag and those 20 glorious points that go to Sandro Puzar, the Italian. Looking back for second, and it should be the American with a little clicker over the jump for the spectators. It is indeed 59, Jimmy Button. Third, then, it's the Frenchman, Sebastian Tortelli. That means Paul Malin, the Brit, relegated to fourth, but still good points.